You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode 148.3. Our scoreboard for Tuesday's boys basketball games in Blackford, Delaware, Grant, Howard, Madison, Tipton, and Northern Hamilton counties, with a report from the Eastbrook-Taylor game with the Action Sports Network's Kevin Helfrich.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Welcome, Central Indiana basketball fans, to the boys basketball scoreboard for Tuesday. Today is January 15th, 2025. It's a Wednesday, so it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, and I love Central Indiana basketball. Coming to you today from Stage 22 in Elwood, producer Susie's in the control room at headquarters in Jeffersonville. Just 3 local games on Tuesday and 1 postponement. However, we do have a report from a very good Eastbrook-Taylor game from the Action Sports Network's Kevin Helfrich, but we start, as we always do, with Tuesday scores. Class 2A number 12 Tipton won its 5th straight game, blowing past Wabash 71-36. Eastbrook handed 2A number 10 Taylor its first loss of the season, 48-41. And Muncie Central ended a 3-game losing streak with a 63-22 triumph over crosstown rival Burris. And just outside of our coverage area in the Madison County tournament, the first round, Southport beat Lawrence Central 54-52. 7th-ranked Ben Davis advanced with a 75-44 win over Perry Meridian. Warren Central edged Brebeuf 48-45. It was number 5 Lawrence North 81, Lutheran 32. Roncalli got past Franklin Central 62-59. Pike blew by Beech Grove 72-46. Decatur Central beat Speedway 83-46. And North Central had a 78-54 win over Park Tudor. There were 3 games in the first round of the Johnson County tournament Tuesday. Greenwood beat Indian Creek 64-59 in overtime. Whiteland beat Franklin 69-61, and Greenwood Christian beat Edinburgh 61-47. Oak Hill at Southwood was postponed because of the weather. That game will be played this coming Tuesday. Before we get to the game highlights from all 3 games from Tuesday, please go like, subscribe, or follow us at SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or YouTube so you do not miss a single segment. Please go do that now. Or wait till after this podcast. It's not that long anyway. Eastbrook beat Taylor 48-41 to give the 2A number 10 Titans their first loss of the season on Tuesday. Eastbrook's now 5-5. They outscored Taylor 30-22 in the second half. Sophomore Jaden Younts, 17 points, led the way. He knocked down 5 3-pointers. Junior Bodie Howell had 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Senior Draven Collins added 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. And senior Reed Opperly, 4 points and 9 rebounds. It's one of Eastbrook's 2 biggest wins of the season, the other one being in the Grant 4 against Oak Hill, and that's who the Panthers play again on Friday. Same place, too, at Oak Hill. The Golden Eagles are 7-3. Taylor is now 10-1. They're at 1-9 Clinton Central on Friday. Kevin Helfrich called the game for the Action Sports Network, and I talked to him afterwards to get his thoughts on what he saw. Kevin, Taylor took its first loss of the season on Tuesday. How did Eastbrook get the job done?
Well, it was a second half that was almost flawless for the Panthers. They finished the second half. They hit 9 of their 16 shots, including 4 of 8 from behind the three-point line, and went a perfect 8 for 8 from the charity stripe to come from behind to knock off the Taylor Titans in a thriller 48-41. This game had 10 lead changes throughout, and it was Jaden Younts who hit the big shot in the fourth quarter that gave Eastbrook the lead for good at 38-37 with just over 3 minutes to go. They got key plays down the stretch from Drayden Collins, who hit a driving bucket to extend the lead, and then Howe also hit a big shot with a lay-in, and then Younts and hit some free throws as well as Collins and Bodie Howe as well. So the big three players for Eastbrook came through. Younts had 17, Howe with 14, Collins with 11 off the bench as the Panthers get perhaps their biggest win since winning the sectional in 1998. This is an Eastbrook team now that has knocked off Oak Hill and Taylor, so the confidence is high right now for the Panther basketball team.
Sure sounds like Jaden Younts is going to be a good one. I know that in Grant County in the sophomore class, Jace Tonagel gets most of the attention, but Jaden Younts is a star in waiting, isn't he?
He really is, and he's a marksman. He was 5 for 8 from behind the three-point line tonight, and every one he hit, they needed, and they were at timely fashion. And he just you can't give him any space. He hit all 3 of his three-point shots in the second half, and Eastbrook looks to him when they need a big three-pointer without a doubt. But I'll tell you what, this is a disciplined Eastbrook Panther basketball team. They only turned the ball over tonight 8 times. And what was incredible with that is they had 5 in the third quarter, but in the fourth quarter, they did not turn the basketball over a single time. That was pivotal as well in this victory. And Eastbrook is a team that has had a lot of close losses this year. They've lost 4 games by 4 points or less. So this is a team, I think, now that you're seeing with that win against Oak Hill in the Grant 4 and this win here tonight, they know now, I think they're learning how to win these close games, and that's going to be a dangerous thing. This young basketball team whose future is bright. And look out for the Panthers the next year or two. I really think this is going to be a year where they take a step, that next step, and then in the future, this is a team you will not want to see. This isn't the Eastbrook of old where you think you could go into it and probably going to chalk it up maybe as a W. This is a team that could beat any team on any given night.
And, of course, another trip to Oak Hill on Friday.
Yeah, this is a big week for Eastbrook. They weren't looking ahead at all to Oak Hill, but they know that they're going to have to play just as well as they did tonight. They've gotten Oak Hill already once this year, but they know Oak Hill will be ready for them at Oak Hill. It's a tough place to win, but Coach Liddick has these guys playing the type of basketball and executing the plan on a night in and night out basis that he expects. And, I wouldn't be surprised, if this is another close contest that comes down to some fourth quarter shooting and free throws down the stretch. Is an Eastbrook team that had only been shooting 62% from the free throw line all year long, but tonight they go 10 for 10 from the free throw line, and Taylor only goes 10 for 20. So that's a big difference in the basketball game when one team hits 50%, the other team hits 100%. And so the Panthers, will be looking forward to having a chance to beat Oak Hill for a second time and perhaps get them back in a conference race, as Oak Hill has not lost a conference game. Eastbrook with the 1 loss to Alexandria. So they need to have this basketball game to have any chance of trying to compete for a Central Indiana Conference title.
It was the first of 5 games on the road for Taylor. They go to Clinton Central, then Western, then Frankton, then Riverside. We knew it was going to be I was said on the podcast, if they go through that 5-0, we need to start having a serious conversation about Taylor. So,
Right.
first of all, your impressions of Taylor. This game could probably serve them well down the stretch.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the Javion Harris. He had 18 points and 11 rebounds. He was really Mr. Do-It-All for the Titans on this night. They didn't shoot the ball particularly well. They were just 14 of 41 on the night, and they were just 3 of 10 from behind the three-point line. And their struggles from the free throw line is something that they've had all season long. They shoot less than 60% as a team from the free throw line. They're going to have to get better in that area if they're going to win close games and expect to, compete with Tipton in their sectional. That's a sectional that's got those 2 teams probably at the forefront of being the favorites right now. But, I think it was kind of an off night a little bit for them. But give Eastbrook a lot of credit. It was the defense, Eastbrook. They played a lot of man-to-man, but they also switched it up a little bit in the second half, threw some zone at Taylor, and I think caused some problems at times. But it's a Taylor team that's got a lot of talent. They didn't get any productivity off their bench, so I don't know how deep they really are.
Not very.
Not very deep at all. So, they're going to have their guys come through, and tonight was just a night where Eastbrook, put 3 players in double figures, and then Taylor was only able to put 2 guys in double figures, and that ultimately turned out to be the difference tonight. But this is an Eastbrook team that came in with no fear. I mean, it's a team that came in and believed they had a chance when many outsiders may have thought they didn't have a chance. And when you believe in yourself, that's all you need. You don't need anything else from anybody outside your locker room. And they came out and got the big win. And they've got 2 more games this week. After Oak Hill, they got to play Eastern then on Saturday night. So this is a big week for Eastbrook, a real chance to really get the ball rolling to a productive season. I was looking at some history from last year. Eastbrook entered this time 4-5 as well last year, but they started an 8-game losing streak from that point on. And tonight they kind of flipped that switch. They get this big win, and now with a chance to follow that up with another big win could really do a lot for the confidence of this Panther basketball team. Coach Liddick has, been coached the girls program for 12 years. He's won 190 basketball games, 4 sectional titles. So, you're going to believe what that coach tells you, and his guys are doing that right now.
Yeah, he looks like he's already making his mark on this program.
Oh, he is, and their team is never rattled. They don't get too high. They don't get too low. They don't show too much emotion, but they're all invested and pulling for each other, and it's just really a good team win tonight.
Tipton won its 6th game in a row, 71-36 at Wabash on Tuesday. The Blue Devils are now 8-2. Senior Grady Carpenter led the way as he usually does. 23 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, and 4 steals. Senior Sam Quigley added 13 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals. Sophomore Peyton Aller had 12 points. And sophomore Quinn Smith, 7 points and 7 rebounds. Senior Landon Spidell contributed 5 points to the win. Tipton will look to make it 7 in a row on Friday when they visit 6-4 Northwestern. Wabash is now 0-12, their worst start since their 0-21 season in 1999-2000. They were led by Noah Baldwin's 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 steals. Eli Mattern had 11 points. Muncie Central beat Burris 63-62 to end a 3-game losing streak. The Bearcats are now 4-9. They shot 60% from the field and made 8 of their 19 three-pointers. They were led by freshman Jackson Johnson's 14 points and 4 rebounds. Junior Shamar Taylor had 13 points. Junior Landon Wells, 11 points. And junior Terry Miles had 10. The Bearcats host 6-8 Richmond on Friday in a North Central Conference game. Burris is now 0-8 and hosts 6-6 University on Friday. The Central Indiana Sports Report Boys Basketball Player of the Night is Tipton senior Grady Carpenter. He had 23 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, and 4 steals in the Blue Devils' 71-36 win over Wabash. Big game Wednesday. 9-2 Delta host unbeaten and top-ranked Wapahani in the opening round of the Delaware County Tournament. That game is scheduled for 6 p.m. The winner will face either 3-7 Yorktown or 5-5 Westdell in Friday's county championship game. Also Wednesday, 2-9 Blue River is at 6-4 Anderson Prep with a chance for the Jets to win their 7th game of the year. That would set a new program standard. And now you know everything we know about Central Indiana boys basketball. If you enjoy the Central Indiana Sports Report, please do us a favor and tell some friends about it. We would be eternally grateful. Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.